The book of Genesis, where it all begins, and things get wild fast. The book of Genesis is like the Bible's opening act, the first season of an epic drama series that covers everything from the creation of the universe to sibling rivalry that makes any modern family feud look like child's play. It's got it all: talking snakes, worldwide floods, and a guy who has the guts to wrestle with God. Spoiler, Jacob needs a chiropractor after that one. Let's dive into this action-packed book and see how it all begins. Before it gets a little messy, okay, a lot messy, Chapter 1. 2. Creation. The original DIY project. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. This is how it all starts. No big bang. Well, maybe one we don't know about. No committee meetings, just God speaking things into existence like a cosmic Bob Ross, painting happy little stars and continents. In 6 days, he creates everything: light, water, sky, land, plants, animals, and finally, the piece de resistance: humans. Yep, Adam and Eve are the ultimate DIY project. God says, "Let us make man in our image," and boom, Adam is formed from dust. Imagine that, a man literally made from dirt. It's like God made a sandcastle, breathed into it, and said, "That'll do." Then, seeing Adam was a bit lonely, God whipped up Eve from one of Adam's ribs. Forget Tinder. This is the original matchmaking service. Chapter 3. The snake, the apple, and the first big oops. Things are going pretty well in the Garden of Eden. Endless fruit buffets, zero clothing budget, no rush hour traffic. Until a talking snake shows up. Cue ominous music. The snake, aka Satan, convinces Eve to eat from the tree of knowledge, the only tree God specifically told them not to touch. It's like telling a toddler not to eat the cookies and then leaving them alone with a cookie jar. Eve eats the fruit, Adam eats it too, and suddenly they're like, "Whoa, we're naked!" They immediately try to cover themselves with fig leaves, the world's first and probably least effective fashion trend. When God shows up for a chat, Adam and Eve are hiding behind trees, like that's going to work. God calls them out, and as a result, they're banished from the garden. Lesson of the day: always read the fine print when it comes to divine rules. Chapter 4. 5. Cain and Abel, the first sibling rivalry. Fast forward a bit, and Adam and Eve have 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Cain works the land, while Abel tends sheep. Both bring offerings to God, but God likes Abel's offering better. Cain gets super jealous, like "I'm gonna go full Hulk" jealous, and kills his brother. It's basically the Bible's version of Keeping Up with the Cain Kardashians, but with a lot more drama. God calls out Cain, who gives the classic "Am I my brother's keeper?" excuse. God, unimpressed, punishes Cain by making him a wanderer. Moral of the story: family squabbles are as old as time, and maybe, just maybe, don't resort to murder when your sibling gets more attention. Chapter 6-9, Noah, the Ark, and a whole lot of water. Next up, we meet Noah, who wins the award for the most ambitious weekend project ever, building an ark. Why? Because humanity has gone off the rails, and God decides to hit the reset button with a worldwide flood. God tells Noah, "Build a big boat and gather 2 of every animal." Noah doesn't even ask questions. He just starts hammering away. So, the flood comes. Then Noah's family and a boatload of animals survive. After 40 days and 40 nights, the waters recede, and Noah lands on Mount Ararat. To celebrate, Noah builds an altar, and God sends a rainbow as a promise not to flood the earth again. Pretty cool, right? Noah's family repopulates the earth, which, considering how small the guest list on the ark was, must have been one epic family reunion. Chapters 11. The Tower of Babel, when communication breaks down. Not long after, people start getting a little too full of themselves. They decide to build a tower to the sky, thinking they can reach heaven. It's like an ancient skyscraper project, but without the proper permits. God sees this and says, "Nope, not happening." He confuses their language, making them unable to understand each other. The construction project comes to a halt, and everyone scatters across the earth. This is the origin of different languages, and probably why learning Spanish in high school was so tough. Chapters 12 to 25. Abraham, father of many and some wild adventures. Now we get to the story of Abraham, the guy God chooses to be the father of many nations. God promises Abraham that his descendants will be as numerous as the stars in the sky, even though Abraham and his wife Sarah are both super old. Like 100 years old. Sarah actually laughs when she hears God's plan, which is fair. Imagine being told you're going to have a kid at that age. It's laugh or cry material. Despite their age, Isaac is born. But before that, there's a bit of a subplot where Abraham and Sarah try to help God out by having Abraham have a child with Sarah's servant, Hagar. Spoiler, it doesn't go well. But despite the ups and downs, Abraham's faith becomes legendary, and God keeps his promise. Chapters 27 to 36. Jacob and Esau. The ultimate family feud. Abraham's grandson Jacob is next up, and he's a bit of a trickster. He tricks his twin brother Esau out of his birthright for a bowl of soup. Yep, that's right, soup. Later, he disguises himself as Esau to get their father's blessing. Esau, understandably, is furious and starts plotting revenge. Jacob runs off and has his own adventures, including wrestling with God. That's right, an all-out, all-night wrestling match with the Almighty. And Jacob gets a hip injury as a souvenir. Eventually, he makes peace with Esau. And his 12 sons become the fathers of the 12 tribes of Israel. Jacob's family tree is starting to look like a reality show. There's drama, betrayal, and a lot of sibling tension.
Hey, how goes it? I hope you're enjoying this episode. I mean, who am I kidding? Right? Of course you are. Seriously, I mean, it is fire. So, don't even kid yourself. Okay, anyways, moving right along. Anyways, I'm sorry to be throwing a stick in the spokes here, but the reality is, I needed to let you all know some cold hard facts about modern Testament talks. So, please bear with me just a few more seconds while I break it down for all you cool cats who like to watch our jaw-droppingly awesome content tizzle. Okay, cold hard fact number 1. Our content is the bee's knees fact. We're awesome and you know it. Cold hard fact number 2. Modern Testament talks is the cat's pajamas. Just another simple and very basic fact. So there's that too. Cold hard fact number 3. We end every episode with faith foundations. What's that? You're asking yourself. Well, it's our Bible study, journaling and art activity. And the 4th and final cold hard fact is that you can come and grow your faith with all of us. Because Faith Foundations is all about fostering a deep relationship with God, and the facts are the facts. Well, there you have it. So, come along and grow your faith with us. And now back to your regular scheduled programming.
Chapters 37, 50. Joseph, dreams, drama, and deliverance. Last but not least, we get the story of Joseph, Jacob's favorite son, who gets a little too cozy with his position as dad's favorite. His brothers are less than thrilled with his Technicolor dream coat and his habit of bragging about his dreams. So, naturally, they throw him into a pit and sell him into slavery. Classic sibling move, right? Joseph ends up in Egypt, where he goes from prisoner to Pharaoh's right-hand man by interpreting dreams. Talk about a career upgrade. Eventually, Joseph's brothers come to Egypt looking for food during a famine. In an epic plot twist, Joseph forgives them and saves his family from starvation. It's a beautiful story of forgiveness, reconciliation, and maybe a little payback with some. Dramatic reveals. Conclusion. Genesis, a messy beginning to a divine plan. The book of Genesis is a whirlwind of creation, family drama, betrayal, and redemption. It shows us that while things can get messy, really messy, God's plan always unfolds, sometimes in ways we least expect. From the garden to the flood, from Abraham's faith to Joseph's rise to power. Genesis reminds us that no matter where we come from, God's got a bigger story in mind. It's a reminder that even when we don't understand what's happening, we're part of a divine masterpiece in the making.